Hi guys, this is Crafty Cat. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. The last time I tested out these very cheap Artist Loft Necessity watercolors with the blue band. Artist Loft I find very confusing because they have all different brands of Artist Loft and they seem to be color coded. So I don't know what the necessities are, but these ones have the blue band. Some of them have like purple bands. They have different colors. But anyway, I like them. I have fun with them. I've got some out on my little El Cheapo palette. And we swatched them and we tested them together. And then I just did a really quick painting. And one thing I noticed is it looks very different dry than it did while I was painting. While I was painting, I had a lot of white. And then I added some blue because I wanted blue at the top. And then coming down to white, my white is gone. Same with the flowers. I did better with the flowers on this side. I had some light blue, but I lost a lot of the white. I did keep some white back there. This color stayed light, but some of the colors seem to dry darker than they look wet, and some of them seem to dry lighter, and I'm not sure why. So what I thought I would do is, these are all dry now. And let's just get this tape and put it down so it's on an angle so you guys don't get a glare. And I just thought I put out some more fresh tape. And I just have some cheap brushes from the Dollarama and Michael's. And I also have some Gouache brushes that are actually for gouache. I have 3 of those. So I thought we would try those. So I'm just going to grab the same brush I used last time. I'm going to dampen it. And let's compare the fresh to the dry. Alright guys, so I have sped this up 5 times the normal speed, and we are just re-swatching, and I just want to compare the difference between the wet paint and the dark paint to see whether it dries lighter or darker. And yeah, both the yellows look lighter when they're wet. The red looks darker wet. So it was both. The answer was both. Some of these dry lighter, some of them dry darker. And I just showed you that quick picture in the middle because all the blues dried a lot darker on me. So I was really interested to see what the blues would do. So the green, the only one is that second green looked almost the same wet, maybe a little bit darker. But the blue looks much lighter when it's wet. It dries darker. So gouache is weird that way. So far, it's different. Some of them dry darker and some of them dry lighter. So I think it's just a matter of getting to know the paint. And I made a mistake for the purple. I actually accidentally put blue. So I'm going now and adding purple, but it's not perfect because the purple's mixing with the blue. So yeah. And the brown is darker when it's wet and it dries lighter. And also the same with the black. So I just wanted to do that because I had done a painting, this one here, and the colors didn't look right once it dried. Like, it's still cute and vibrant. I just did this really quickly. I just wanted to test it out, you know. This is a picture. This is, the reference picture is a picture that I took on Whitefish Island, which is a local walking trail near my house. I could drive there in about 5 minutes by car and ride my bike there in about half an hour. So, yeah. And then it's a really pretty nature trail. And in the spring, in late May, early June, depending on what the weather's like that season, all of these forget-me-nots are in bloom. And they're all blue and there's some white. And they're just so beautiful. And before that, we get the trout lilies, which are yellowy with spots on them. And it smells so good in here. And there's usually, like, some of the trees, not in this section, but some of the trees have apple blossoms and cherry blossoms and all different kinds. So I wanted to try that again today. I have a different picture. It's this same walk. It's the same trail, but it's a different spot on the trail where the trees at the end kind of go over into a tunnel. And instead of doing it portrait, I did it landscape. So I want to try it this way, but not here. And the other thing I wanted to show you is, look at, I did that whole painting upside down. So this is how the book is supposed to be. And look what I did. So I'm just going to flip the page. I don't do the backs anymore in case I want to use the pictures. So I'm going to do it over here. And I don't want this to, it's wet, so I don't want to put it down. So I am looking at a picture off screen that I'm just going to try to lightly sketch. And I don't care if it's not perfect because I'm really just still testing out these paints. And I'll put the picture here that I'm looking at, okay? And that is a picture that I took myself. I don't know if it was last summer or last spring or the year before. I can't remember. I walk there all the time, so. So the first thing I know is that I want the trail. This is just a Dollarama mechanical pencil studio. So the trail goes kind of in like this, and then it kind of curves and goes like that. And over here, it goes in. And then curves like that. I think I put it too far. I think I need to bring that down more. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. So let me just sketch this and I'll come back, okay? Okay guys, so I am back. I did a quick sketch. I forgot to tape this off before I did the sketch, so I put the tape on after, so it's not going to be exactly how I wanted it because I would have liked more sky at the top, but oh well. I tried to tape it so there was only a little bit of tape at the top and more at the bottom, because I need to be able to write it. And this is just for practice. This is not supposed to be a masterpiece or anything. So I've already got some white paint on my Himi gouache brush that came with my set of Maya Himi gouache. And the sky is almost like a gray. It's got like just a hint of blue in it. So I'm just going to go with the white. Because the white will dry with some color in it. But not too much, you know. And I need some water. But not too much water. I had the paint too thick there. And I'm just going to try to pick up a little wee bit of this blue on my brush. I'm going to be painting over most of this with trees anyway, but I do want some spots where it's peeking through. It was a very late sky the day that I took my walk. So I know you guys can't even really see what I'm doing here, but now I'm going to take some of this white and I'm going to take it over here. And I'm just going to take a touch of, just a touch of this raw ochre and mix it in to get like a sandy brown for the path. And I'm going to add a little bit more water so it's just more like a watercolor thing. And let's just, yeah, that's really pretty. That's a nice color. I don't know if you guys could see it okay. I don't know if I'm going to cut out my talking and I'll just narrate over it and speed it up later. So I run into trouble because I am older and my eyesight is not as good as when I was young, that I have two sets of glasses. I have set for driving and I have a set for reading. And then my eyesight is fine when it's at a certain range. Like, I don't need glasses at all when I'm looking at my computer because I could push it far enough away that I could read. But for painting, it's hard if I'm looking at a reference image because my printer doesn't work. And it just makes it hard because if I wear my glasses, then I can't see the screen as good. So I think I'm going to have to and let's put a shadow over here. And there's going to be a shadow. There's going to be a tree there. And the shadow's going to kind of come across over here. Like that. And right over at this corner, there's going to be just a little touch. And there's your little patches over here. And again, over here, a little wee bit along the edge. And I'm just going to dab in a little bit. Kind of like that. Just, I don't know if you guys are even seeing anything. Because I am getting a big glare off of my phone. So I can't tell. I can tell you're in screen, but that's about it. And let's give this a wipe and go back with some of this light color. I'm just making a puddle in case I need it later. I think I'm going to switch to a different brush. This is another Gouache brush. This is a round brush. I think it's a size 4. And I'm not going to add water to the brush. I'm just going to dab some of that very light color. That's good enough. And now, I kind of like that brush. Let's try to keep using this some more. Should I try to mix my own greens or should I use the greens here? I used the greens when I did the other one and they were kind of nice. I like them. But I've been using this color a lot. So let's see if I can mix this blue with some yellow. And what kind of green we get. I think we're just going to get the kind of green they gave us. Because I think I tried this when I was swatching. Yeah, it's like a very bright, bright green. Now, I was watching that if you add a red, which is the opposite of the green, it should dull it down a little bit. It absolutely does. Was that the right red to do it? I don't know. Okay, that's not bad. All right, let's make more of that. Darker. Yeah, I'm not mixing enough color here, I don't think. Maybe we'll just use those as accents and use the other green. I'm not sure. I like the start green though. All right. So I don't know if should I go dark and then go over and highlight it in light, or should I go light and highlight it in dark? I'm not sure. I'm used to watercolor. Watercolor, you go light to dark. Let's just mix it all and use it all. So what I want to do is just quickly paint this just a base color, just to get the color down. We'll go over it later. Because I'm not trying to make this realistic, you guys. I'm trying to do more of a stylized thing. So I sped this section up by 3 times for you, so the video would be a little bit faster. And yeah, I'm just mixing different greens and adding different greens. I really had a lot of fun playing with this. Let's just dab some darker colors around. And down at the end of the road, right in here, it's darker. All right, so I have sped the video up 3 times the regular speed. I don't paint very fast, and I do a lot of pausing and thinking, which is probably very boring to watch. Anyway, I really had fun with these paints. I feel much freer for some reason working with cheap paints like this than with my more expensive stuff. Not that I have more expensive gouache, I don't, but like I have expensive watercolors that I don't know what it is. When I work with cheap things, I feel freer. I don't care if I make mistakes because I don't feel like I'm wasting things. And because I'm a beginner, it feels like I deserve to use the less expensive stuff. I don't know. Like when I use more expensive things, I think I'm not good enough to be using it. I don't know if that makes any sense to you at all. But anyway, I feel so much freer and able to be loose and make mistakes and just have fun. And that's what you have to do when you're a beginner, is to be willing to try new things and be willing to have things not look great and make mistakes and try it again and just learn from your mistakes and just have fun playing with colors. I think anyway, that's just my opinion. But anyway, I really had fun doing this looser style and not really knowing what I was doing and not following a tutorial and not even thinking really about what I should be doing, which I really do need to think more about what I've learned because for some reason when I'm painting, everything goes out of my head and I just get into this zone where I'm just in the moment and I'm not talking at all during this portion of the video because I was so in the moment that I forgot I was recording, to be honest, which is why I'm speaking to you now in editing. And I do start talking again at the end. And it does work out that I had to speed it up or the video would have just been way too long. But anyway, I'm just playing with all the different greens. I do love green. My bedroom is green, my bedspread is green, my walls are green. I really do love green. It reminds me of spring and summer, my favorite times of the year. So yeah, and uh and this is different different kind of painting from what I normally do. And I haven't worked with gouache in a year other than swatching these and doing that ladybug. So I was having so much fun and I think I do prefer the gouache to the watercolor just because it's more forgiving. You don't have to save the white. You can paint light over dark. And I think I am going to order some better gouache because I enjoyed this so much. I mean, I'm not going to get expensive stuff, but I did find some on Amazon that's light fast and still very inexpensive. So I think I'm going to order that. Um yeah, I'm looking forward to it because this is so much fun. And I think I might even package this up to take with me, just this cheap gouache. But this is not light fast, and the stuff I saw online is. And if I do get it, we'll do an unboxing and swatching and everything. But in the meantime, I think this is so much fun. So what do you guys think? Do you find it's nicer? Like if you're a beginner, do you feel more freer using inexpensive stuff? Now, it could be because I'm not a rich person. Like, almost all of my extra money goes into art supplies. A lot of women that I know don't buy any art supplies, but they spend it on makeup. I don't wear makeup. I wear a little bit of cover up if I'm going out in the evening because I have to look good because I have rosacea. I wear a little bit of lip gloss, but I don't wear makeup. I don't pay for expensive haircuts. I cut my own hair. Here I'm just dabbing in some branches with my liner brush, by the way. But anyway, I'm just saying is when I do spend money, it's on arts and crafts supplies, as you know if you watch this channel. So what I found really surprising is how those little branches made everything come together so nicely. And one of the things that I did spend money on was this little liner brush, and I'm so glad that I did because it makes making lines so much easier. I always used to struggle with branches, and now it's just so much easier just because I have the right brush. So yeah, that does make a difference having the right brushes, I think. But I do use cheap brushes for the most part, except for this liner brush. Everything that I'm doing here is just stuff I had on hand. So this part of the trail at Whitefish Island is my favorite part of the trail in the spring and early summer, because of the way the flowers and the blossoms and the greenery. And there's a tree tunnel up ahead. And I call this the fairy tale path because it reminds me of walking through a fairy tale. It is so beautiful, it doesn't even seem real in real life. It's just gorgeous. Pretty soon, those forget-me-nots and the blossoms will be out. And if my asthma improves, I will take you on another walk. I did take you on one nature walk on Whitefish Island. So we'll do another one with all the blossoms because when we went last week, nothing was out yet. All the leaves were still not on the trees, and none of the flowers except for the trout lilies were in bloom. So when it is all beautiful blues and greens and oh, it's just gorgeous, you guys. And I really would like to share it with you. And speaking of asthma, I apologize for all of the heavy breathing in my recent videos. It can't be helped. My asthma has been so bad because my allergies are out of control and that triggers my asthma. And even though I'm on three different medicines for it, I can't help it. At least I'm not wheezing. Like For a few days I couldn't record any videos because I was wheezing so much. So here I'm putting the forget-me-nots. I'm just dabbing blue. I just mixed the blue with the white. And I'm really, really happy with how these colors look. And it is kind of cool to be using tube paints instead of, I usually paint from pans. And I think it is a lot more fun painting from the tubes. So I'm just adding some white flowers here. I really, really love that I could do layers. I can add, because you can't do that in watercolor. It's very like it's not an opaque paint, so you can't add light over dark. And I really love that I could do that with gouache. I'm gonna have to do so much practicing with gouache to get better, but I really, really do love it. And I like acrylics too, but I find acrylics are a pain in the neck because I absolutely have to do them in the art room. And the art room is very uncomfortable, and I always hit my head on the sloping ceiling every time I stand up, and I almost knocked myself out one day. But I'm lucky that I have it, and I do enjoy it. If I would remember to not hit my head when I stand up, it would be fine. I have to push my chair back further before I stand up, is all that it is. So I'm just adding some more lighter color at the top where the sunlight would be hitting the trees. Trying to make sure I have enough contrast. So where I live, our forest in this area is more like a bush than a forest. The trees are not the tall, huge trees that you see in other places where it's mostly the trunk and the leaves are way above you. Here, the leaves are like right beside you and above you. It's just very dense, dense bush. If you go off the trail, you almost cannot walk through the bush. It's so thick. And it gets thicker in summer. Like in spring, you can see through the trees because all of the leaves aren't fully out yet. But once summer comes and all the leaves are fully out, it's almost impossible to walk through the bush. We call it bush more so than forest. When you go to the older growth forest where the trees are taller and they're mostly pine trees and spruce trees, it's easier to walk. And I'll take you on one of those trails too, but I can't do that for a while now because we have a lot of bears and they're hungry because they woke up from hibernation a few weeks ago. And yeah, I can't go on those trails yet. But this trail here is a really good trail because it's right in town. So I'm just adding some more shadows again. Just trying to make sure I have dark and light both. I'm just kind of in the zone at this point. I really, really love this trail. I wish I could draw all the little ferns. I'm gonna have to learn how to do the ferns. There's tons and tons of ferns lining the side of the path as well. A lot of people eat them, the fiddlehead ferns. I'm just going in with more darks now. I had so much fun doing this, you guys. I really love this paint. I find it so freeing. I'm so glad I bought it. Artist Loft has another set of acrylic gouache too, and they also have the blue band in the middle like mine, but mine say necessities on it, and the ones they have now just say number 1. So I don't know what the difference is or whether they just changed the labeling, but they do. They right now they have the necessities gouache in the jelly cups if you want to try those. It's the same gouache that I'm using, but they're in the jelly cups. So instead of tubes, they're in the little cups. But I do say, if you do buy those, use them every day and use them all up. Okay, guys. I give up. I can't do anymore. I think I'm messing this up. So, you know what? I'm going to just peel this off and see what it looks like. So, I'm having a hard time making the transition from gouache to gouache from watercolor. Let's see. There we go. That's the best I can do today, you guys. I'm having fun playing with this gouache, but my brain is having such a hard time making the transition from watercolor. It's a different kind of painting that's needed. But you know what? I'm happy with this. I think it's okay. It's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be realistic. I just was trying to go for the colors and the shape and the movement. I don't have the colors that I need for the rocky path, and I didn't want to take the chance to splatter. I've never splattered with gouache. I think it's easier for me to paint with watercolor now than gouache, but this was fun. And I do like the vibrant colors, and I'm happy that my sky came out lighter this time. It's almost unnoticeable from the background of the color, so maybe I should have gone a little bit more blue. But the last time I added more blue, it came out dark like the flowers, and I didn't want that, so yeah. So I might just outline it in black so you could see where the outline is. But yeah, this is a very nice remembrance of my beautiful walk that day. I call this the fairy tale path because for maybe a kilometer or two, the whole path is lined with flowers and blossoms, and we have such long winters here in Canada, in northern Ontario, and it's just really nice when these flowers start blooming and all the new greens are there. And I tried to get all different kinds of green, the darker greens at the bottom where the bushes are and the lighter greens at the top, but I'm not really great at drawing foliage yet. And our foliage is, because they're not like giant trees, they're so full. Like there's so much green and there's so many branches everywhere, and I tried to just adapt it for the picture. But I will show you what I was looking at. I am happy with it. I might touch up the flowers later if they get too dull. We'll see. But yeah, so let's just write down today's date, which is the 1st of May, which is perfect for this. May 1st, 25, as I'm recording this. And this is Artist Loft Necessities Gouache, and my pick, Whitefish Island. I'll know that WFI means Whitefish Island. So, and I will sign it. KS, my initials anyway. So that is it. I hope you liked it. Let's take the phone off of the charger, off of the stand, and do the little close-up. Hang on. So that is it, you guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a very blue thumbs up. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe. Hit the notification bell. All of those things that help as a channel. And most importantly of all, take care. Stay safe. Happy painting. Bye, guys.